Well, hello. I hope my video yesterday did not make any of you go deaf. Don't know how the sound picked up that loud. I was barely speaking. I mean, like half of the tone I'm doing right now. So that was really weird. I was informed today when I was over at the college by someone who watches my videos. He said, dude, your audio was really loud. And I will look into how to fix that later. Hopefully I can fix that. For now, I just hope people can turn it down when they go to the video. So I stated that I would post, my next video would be about bullying. Once again, I'm going to be touching this topic. And there is a reason why I touch this topic. This topic is a very personal type of topic for me, as I was persistently bullied from probably, I would believe it all started kindergarten, and ninth grade, because through 10th, 11th, and 12th, I pretty much just set myself off by myself. And though people did pick on me, well, no, it was pretty easy to ignore them. So, we wound up talking about bullying in psychology because of the school shooting that happened yesterday, and that is very tragic. Some of the students are saying it was because they bullied him. Some are now coming out and saying it was because his girlfriend broke up with him and went with someone else. And either case, that's not a reason to shoot up a school. You know, I mean, I hope that if I have any young viewers out there who are bullied, don't shoot up a school. All you're going to do is, you know, even if you don't have intents on ending your life, you're going to just end yours, no matter what. You know, there's no getting your life back after you do something like that. And, you know what? Fuck those people. You're not going to know them in years. And if you do, and they keep acting that way, and you're an adult, there's something called the legal system. Now, in psychology, our psychology teacher said the best way to stop this stuff is to punish the bullies. Well, I agree, punish the bullies, but what defines a bully? And I asked that, and she said, well, most of the time I think bullies know that they're bullying people, and that's true. The one time I did, for a 3-week span, my last year of middle school, I did pick on a kid because I was being picked on for years, and during that time we were doing a school play where I had one of the lead parts and became somewhat popular. Now, popularity didn't mean jack shit to me because I got in a fight with some of the popular kids during all that time, and, you know, I didn't give a shit. But what I did give a shit about, I wasn't being picked on anymore. And there's just somebody, I don't know what made me go off on him. But, I mean, I did apologize to him later on in life. And, you know, things fell apart eventually, but we were friends for a while. So, you know, but then again, what defines a bully? Because, you know, it's different people. A bully is a different thing. I'm considered rude, inconsiderate, and an asshole, and, as it was put bluntly, a bully today, because the fact I'm open about my atheism. It was put, no one asked you, and no one cares. No one needs to know your opinion. Well, I'm fine with that. If no one asks me, no one cares, and no one needs to know my opinion. But when you're sitting there, and get this, this is the thing they're saying is offensive, is the fact that I say there is no God. When they're sitting there, oh, praise Jesus, praise the Lord Almighty, and stuff like this. I have a right then, because I'm not asking for your opinion either. And I'm not doing it out of retaliation or anything. I'm doing it because I'm trying to have an open dialogue. But if you want to close your eyes and stick your fingers in your ears and just go blah, 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 and call me a bully just because of that, I can turn around just as easily call you a bully. And the fact remains is I do believe the term bully is subjective. It's too... And people say, well, how about we use the term tormentor? It's the same thing. What may be torment to one may be not torment to the other. And I know it sounds weird when you use such an extreme word as torment and say that to one it's torment and to the other it's not. But, you know, we're edging to... If someone could give me an answer, and I really wish we could have had more time to discuss this in class. If someone could give me an answer on how to pinpoint bullies, you know, and just definitely know that they are doing this to be a bully, you know, then I can say, yeah, let's implement laws punishing the bullies. But we can't. You know, the term bully is now basically has gotten watered down like rape. And it's sad when rape got watered down. You know, girls go out and they have sex with someone and they regret it and then they say, oh, I was raped. Or they don't even have to do anything. So, you know, there have been cases where girls have said, ooh, I was raped. And almost ruin a guy's entire life. Because obviously the court's going to look upon the victim as innocent and without law. And the same thing goes with someone being picked on. Now, I mean, it would be nice. I mean, you know, if we could live in a world where we could have terms like bully directly in black and white terms, but that's the thing. It can't be. Because so many people are either easily offended by things or I don't know. It just seems like there's becoming an increasingly number of people easily offended by things. It's like there's a guy over at the college that we can't stand him. We don't like him. We're not picking on him, but he is just a complete asshole. And it took 5 minutes before he had pissed everybody off. I'm talking about even individuals who don't normally get pissed off at other people. You know, he came over acting like, you know, he's the smartest person around and accusing everyone of cheating at games and stuff. So we decided we don't want to have anything to do with him. Now, that's considered bullying, though, to exclude someone. But at the same time, what's the solution to that? Someone might say, confront them. Explain to them that their behavior is somewhat inappropriate and that it is not to the liking of the rest of the group. Again, that too is labeled as bullying. So how do we get around this? How do we get around what is and what is not bullying? We can't just say we don't want to talk to this person. We don't want to hang out with this person. You know? We can't just tell him, you're going to have to change your attitude or you're not going to be welcome, because that's bullying. Then what is it? What do we do? As far as all the other stuff in psychology, I can grasp it pretty well. But when it comes down to this part of psychology, I can't seem to come to terms of how to grasp this. It's just like as soon as you feel like you have your hand on it, it slipped right out. And it's ridiculous. Because, you don't know who you're talking to. And you don't know if they're going to be the next person to be like, oh, you know what, Virginia Tech was a good idea. I'll show these fuckers. But I don't want to live the rest of my life in fear. Doesn't that then turn them into unintentional bullies? Or even worse, terrorists? Because that's what they're doing. They're terrorizing us to the point, people are terrorizing. I'm sorry, that made no sense. They're terrorizing people to the point of just assimilation. If someone is unpleasant, I think we should have the right to tell them, sorry, you're unpleasant. If you want to hang out with us, please change your attitude. Please quit acting like you belong on this high horse. But we can't. We can't carefully confront someone. We can't discreetly distance ourselves from people. And when it comes down to the point of making laws, anti-bullying laws, I don't see how it can be done. Because what you're going to have is people saying, well, I am completely offended, and she's wearing a high skirt and low top. That's offensive to me. And that is a form of bullying when you offend somebody. They could imply that you are intentionally dressing that way. And like in my last bully video, all this is doing, until we can get things settled out, is we're allowing an individual bully to bully an entire nation. I mean, I'm not one who's going to say it's the music, it's the TV, it's the movies, it's the comic books, it's the video games, because I don't think that's true. That's not why people strike out. Because, let's put it this way, unless you've been picked on so much that the only option you have ever seen in your head was to draw blood, then you don't know shit, because it was before I played any violent video game or watched any really violent movie that being picked on pushed me too far. And I did strike out, and I hit. And apparently it's a rarity for around here, but I was picked on by teachers. And like I brought up in my psychology class, when I was in middle school, the entire class, they were picking nominations for the middle school yearbook. And even the teachers thought this one would be funny, because I apparently had an angry disposition to nominate me for most likely to shoot up a school. Now, they had me go outside, and the teacher remained in the classroom. And it was written on the board. So to say that the teacher may not have known is a bullshit lie. And then when I complained about it, I had to take care of the plants in the classroom, which was dumb. And I'm not trying to give away which teacher this was, because anybody who went to school with me would probably know who made you take care of plants as a punishment. Because it was my fault for not being able to handle a simple little joke at a time when we had to carry clear plastic bags pretty much to hold our school supplies in. You know, when it comes down to being bullied, I was bullied. You know, my parents even went as far as having the laws involved at one point. Kids had tried to throw me from a balcony. I had my clothes sliced open because these kids brought knives to school. My book bags were sliced open. So when I picked my stuff up, everything would fall out the bottom. People poured sodas through my fucking locker. And that got so bad to the point that I just quit using a locker. You know, I understand what bullying is. I've been there. I've been bullied to the extremes. And all I can say is if you're being picked on right now and you're watching this, you know, hold on, you know, seek some help. There are people out there willing to be your friends when you get older. You know, elementary school and middle school, yeah. But when you get to high school, there's a larger mix of people. And with any luck, if your high school is a decent high school, there will be clubs for you to go to. Now, again, back to one of my earlier videos, I still need to find out about this Gay Straight Alliance Club. Because this is exactly why there needs to be clubs like this, despite your fucking religious beliefs. Because you're taking away the ability for like-minded individuals to have a chance, the slightest chance, to gather together. And you know what? I say start having clubs even at younger ages. When, you know, maybe not in elementary school, because then it would just be parents picking out clubs. But once you're in middle school, I think most people would pick their own club. In fact, in middle school, there was one time when we had after-school clubs, and I joined the rocketry club, and you know what, I had fun. I became friends with everyone in there. We built model rockets, and we learned about space travel, and you know, we were like-minded individuals who got together for one common goal, and that is the importance. I think maybe that is how we defeat bullying in schools. You know, even in that video, we had the fucking Columbine incident, and they're talking to one of the football players who lived, and he's just being smug. They had this thing they called the Trench Coat Mafia. They thought they sounded tough. Smugly saying that. I mean, I understand this was said years ago, but I really hope that guy understands what a dick he was. Because, yeah, people get together, they want to sound tough, because guess what? You take any power away from them when you continue to pick on them. You know? But yeah, have clubs in schools. Starting from middle school. and make it a thing where the parents don't get involved. Let it be that the kids pick these out. And I do believe, and make it mandatory. Make it mandatory that kids have to join these clubs. Because that's how I see combating bullying. Because you can't go to the bullies. If there was reasoning with bullies, there would be no bullies. In fact, chances are, if every bully is someone who has been bullied, and we have them in clubs with other like-minded people, maybe they won't be bullies anymore. Yeah, I understand. One view of this is, well, you're just separating students. Yeah, separating students. But then they have a place to go. You know, I can't help what happens in elementary school. And I have to admit, the torment I got in elementary school has scarred me so badly that I was crying in my psychology class. Tears running down my face, watching these children who, just about every single one of them, I could just see my little face in when I was a kid. I think the only reason why I never did do anything like that, why I never, you know, I had thought about killing myself in elementary school. And my thoughts were, do it in the gym right before dodgeball. Not that, you know, I had a problem with dodgeball. I loved dodgeball. And I never saw dodgeball as a form of bullying. But I did see dodgeball as a way of having everyone looking at you. Because when you're down to that last person on that team, everyone's looking at them. Your opponents, the onlookers, the kids wanting to hurry up and get back in the game. I knew I hated that when I got taken out early and there was one kid out there really good dodging, and I wanted to get right back out there because I loved it. I loved dodgeball. I really hate the fact that there's a group against dodgeball, because there's so many skills to be learned through that little game. I wish there was adult dodgeball teams, but the problem there is you would have adult bullies, I guess, who can throw a ball a lot harder than some kids. But anyways, after school, not just after school programs, during school programs, there's a lot of crap that they don't need to be teaching kids. There's a lot of crap that they waste time on. But why not eliminate some of this? You know, and have it where clubs meet during the school day. Hell, if you have to extend school hours by a half hour, have it where these clubs meet for a half hour every day. Yeah, there will be some problems amongst club members, but it would be easier to manage. I mean, think about it. You're micromanaging an entire school. When you would implement clubs like that, and let the kids pick the clubs, and don't let religious views get in the way. You know, if kids want a gay straight alliance, then fine, let them. As far as I can see, if a bunch of gay kids and a bunch of straight kids want to get together and hang out and just talk, let them. If there's a chess club, let them hang out. You know, if there's kids who just want to go and sit in a room and draw with each other, let them. If there's a group of kids who just want to study, let them. And just have these as clubs. You know, I always thought that clubs were going to be a big thing in school, but they weren't. You know, they always had at least sign up for clubs, sign up for clubs. I never saw it. And I'm sure I'm sure if there is a school out there that has mandatory clubs, I'm sure if you go and really investigate what the quality of student life is, they may have a better quality than schools that don't. This is something I would like to find out. I would like to find out these numbers. I'd like to find out whether or not this would be a true hypothesis. If I'm making a proper scientific guess. So, you know, I know I'm no expert. I'm just a former kid who got picked on a lot, and I still get picked on, even as an adult. Today I had to deal with a crap load of it, to the point I'm actually thinking about changing colleges next semester. But then again, I was hungry and my blood pressure was dropping, so maybe I would have been able to handle it a lot better today had I not been in that situation. But I'm someone who's been picked on badly in the past. Nothing now could really compare to that. I can only come up with solutions that I see logical. And the illogical thing is to say, well, we have to make laws against bullying. And when bullying is such a subjective thing, we can't make these laws. We have to do something other than say, well, fuck you, you've been accused of being a bully, so here, do your time. No, we have to do something rational and reasonable. And that the closest thing I can think of is mandatory clubs, you know, and a wide range of them. Sure, you know, you might have the idea that doing this would have clubs against clubs. Well, if something like that happens, then you know, that should be a lot easier for a principal or even a teacher to handle, rather than individual against individual, because you'll have more sides to a problem. But, you know, that's all I can really put on the matter, because even with this additional information and whatever we're going to get out of the chapter in the book, I just don't see making anti-bullying laws a legal thing, because it's still a subjective term. Anyone can use it to label anything that is not fit to their liking. Well, I'm going to end this video. I'm just going to be repeating myself over and over. If you like, thumbs up. If you dislike, thumbs down. Thumbs down if you want to be a jerk about it. Thumbs up if you want to be a jerk about it. You know, it doesn't matter. Leave a little comment down below telling me that you hate my videos and that I smell. I do smell, even though I just took a shower. That's why my hair is the hair out of my head. Why my hair is wet.